Okay, I will try it now. Check, check. Microphone check. Slide check. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I'm doing a sound check. Does my mic sound nice? Hope everybody's having an amazing day today. It's about to get a whole lot better. If you can, so I know that you can hear me, in the chat box below the video, go ahead and let me know where you are joining us from today. What part of the world are you in? And I'm already seeing a few people. We got Kentucky in the house. We've got Lorenzo in Illinois. New Jersey. Nice. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Jen Thomas from C-Bus, Ohio. How you doing, Jen? More and more people are coming on right now. So happy for you guys to be here. I'm going to be so focused on you today. I'm just going to encourage you right now while we still got a few minutes before we get started. We got about 5 minutes. Grab yourself a nice beverage of your choice, whatever you might be sipping on. It's all right with me. Get yourself a little sippy and get yourself a notebook. Okay, you're going to want to take furious notes. I'm going to share so much amazing content with you, and strategies and insights. And what my friend Jim Quick, who's a world-renowned learning expert, has shown is that you can increase your retention of that information that you're learning up to 50% by writing it down. So powerful stuff. Grab yourself a notebook, and also shut out all distractions. Okay, I'm really going to want you to focus in because I'm going to be asking you questions along the way. All right, so make sure you shut out all the distractions. Really get tuned in here because it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to give you guys a couple more minutes to get your beverage. I'm going to go ahead and get my own. So sit tight. And actually, I'm going to do a quick slide test. And by the way, guys, to make the presentation a little bit easier to view, because you're going to want to stay tuned to the slides. I've got a lot of great slides for you. But also, if you want to keep tabs on what's going on in the chat box. And by the way, Ann SS is down there helping to regulate the chat box. And one of those S's stands for Stevenson, because she is my beautiful, amazing wife that if you've tuned into the Model Health Show, I talk a lot about her. And by the way, if you're not tuned into the Model Health Show, where you been? Living under a rock? No, seriously, you know, we've been featured as the #1 fitness and nutrition show, the #1 health show in the world on iTunes. And we're just dropping a lot of knowledge bombs there weekly. So please make sure to tune into the Model Health Show. It's incredible. But this today is going to be more incredible than any single episode of the Model Health Show, no matter how good they've been, because we're live and we're going to have the visuals to go along with this. So I'm really excited. So, and to make your viewing experience more pleasurable, you can actually follow Ann's instructions, and you can drag the chat box up next to the video. And also, when people are leaving comments in the chat box, there's a little noise that it might make. If you want to turn that little toggle noise off because it's kind of annoying, there's a little icon down there that looks like a speaker right below the box. Go ahead and click on that bad boy, and it will turn off that toggle sound. So we're going to give everybody 2 more minutes to get your beverage. Get your tasty beverage of choice. Whatever you're sipping on, it's all good with me. Make sure you shut out all distractions and get ready. We're going to start in just 2 minutes. All right, everybody, we got about 1 more minute, maybe 90 seconds. We got some people coming on here a little later. I want to give a shout out to everybody joining us. Jack, Asheville, North Carolina. What's up, man? Glad to see you here. We got Austin, Texas. I remember you. Austin, Texas in the house. Miss Helmkamp from Austin, Texas. That's like a Thor, daughter of Odin type of name. I love that. Ottawa, Canada in the house. Canada is in the building. What's going on, Donna? Utah, Jonathan, what's going on, man? Just to let you guys know, there is about a 30-second delay between when I'm actually sharing the content and when you're getting it. So as I ask you questions, there might be a little delay in my response after I see your response. All right? So sit tight. You know what? We're going to be super nice. We're going to give everybody another 60 seconds before we get started. All right, everybody. Welcome to Unstoppable Fat Loss. So happy to have you here with me. I'm going to be so focused on helping you today. Now, I again got to reiterate, shut out any distractions. Okay, make sure you got your beverage all ready to go, got your notebook to take furious notes to increase your retention of the information. And the reason why we want to shut out the distractions is that I'm going to be asking you questions and sharing life-changing information with you along the way. So I want you to really take good notes and stay engaged so that you don't miss anything. And the reality is, if you're not going to be locked in and taking notes for the next 60 to 90 minutes, then you're probably not going to get the results that are possible for you. You don't have to struggle with this stuff. It's just getting it from the best source and making sure that this is real, valuable information. And you're going to find that out very quickly, that this is the best information in the world as far as fat loss is concerned. And that is our major goal today. And this is live. So if there's any weird technical difficulties, just be patient. We will clear them up. So I want to start with a little bit about my mission. And my mission is a big one, and it's to empower over 10 million people to take control of their health and to be awakened to the fact that they are in control of their own bodies and in control of their own well-being, far beyond genetics, beyond the negative opinion of others, and beyond what they've believed to be possible for themselves. You know, and I'm going to walk you through how I was awakened to this by going through my own struggles and what I've learned in the process. But before we do that, here's a little bit about where I am today. As many of you know who are joining us, and hopefully you've done your homework on me, I'm a best-selling author, #1 best-selling book on Amazon right now for going on 3 months strong, still at #1, which is just, I'm so honored and just blown away to even say that. It's just incredible. And also my show, The Model Health Show. The Model Health Show has been featured as the #1 health show in the world on iTunes, which is crazy. That's where, like, you can download Backstreet Boys songs and Michael Jackson, or what's the new One Direction, whatever people are into, you know, and then you can download powerful health information. And we've been #1 in the world in that. And I've been featured on the TEDx stage, on Fox News, many TV, television outlets, all that fancy stuff. The giant of a radio network, Clear Channel, featured on many stations. It's just been a really incredible ride, and I'm so honored and privileged that I get to say that these things have been a part of who I am. But the reality is, I didn't used to always be this person. And as a matter of fact, I was far from healthy as it gets. Now, my story really begins when I was 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, I was in high school and I had the whole world in front of me, but my health began to fall apart. The interesting thing was I was an athlete and always competing and looking to excel and just very passionate about sports. And track was one of my major sports that I was very accomplished in. And the funny thing was, this particular day, I was doing a time trial in a 200-meter sprint. Okay, I'm just doing a time trial, a regular 16-year-old kid doing a sprint, and I broke my hip. I literally broke my hip just running. Breaking your hip is usually reserved for like 90-year-old women, you know? And here I am 16 years old and I broke my hip just running. And it's just a really, really crazy situation. And the funny thing is, it's not that sexy either, you know, to break your hip. And the interesting thing is, like, if your hip isn't broken, or are you trying to walk sexy? And I was neither was my hip actually in a state that, you know, it was far from being healthy. That is true, but I tried to play it off, and I kept coming to school. I kept coming to track practice for about a week before somebody kind of pulled me to the side and said, "Dude, there's something wrong with the way you're walking." And I went in to see the physical therapist, and I did a scan, and they saw that, you know, my hip, my iliac crest of my hip had actually broken off, and they said that I pulled a muscle and my hip broke off with it. So what did I do? I did the normal standard care. You know, I did ultrasound. I did. They gave us a nice little hot tub thing I could attach to my bathtub. They gave me medication, physical therapy. I got better. All right, I got back into the game. But the funny thing, and this is the last I'm going to say the funny thing in this presentation, but this is really funny. No one stopped to ask, why did this young man's hip break? How is that even possible from doing something that he should be able to do easily? And this is going to be the continuing factor here in this story. So, like I said, got back in the game, but I continued to eat and train the same way and made my way to graduation as a scholar athlete. And it was so incredible to be there and to stand on that stage and to see my grandmother, who actually came from the country, the quote country, miles and miles and hours away to see me. And she's the woman who raised me in the earliest years of my life, taught me how to read, and to see me standing there, I look back on it and I understand why she was so proud of me and so happy. And now this was actually the beginning of my quote adult life. So we go into college. So this is where, you know, a lot of stuff is going on with the girls, eating a lot of fast food. And I mean, there were literally weeks that went by that nothing real passed through my lips. No real food passed through my lips. Okay, so nothing with a pulse, you know, nothing with any enzymes, phytonutrients, anything that's remotely alive. No fruits and vegetables, just processed foods every single meal. And that might be a little extreme for some people hearing that, but it's not extreme for a lot of college students that are out there. They're actually doing the same thing I was doing. So times were good, played a lot of video games, a lot of late night laughs, and a lot of movies with my friends. One movie in particular I watched with my roommate at least 10 times was Shawshank Redemption. So weird that two 18-year-old college dudes are just sitting up here watching Shawshank Redemption over and over again. I don't know what it is, but that was my story. So eventually, though, I went to a different university and I got my own apartment. And this is the defining moment of my life and when everything really changed for me. Now, one day, I noticed that my leg had this sensation of pins and needles radiating through it. And I was having a difficult time walking. And I couldn't stretch it out. I couldn't walk it out. It just wouldn't change. So I went to see my doctor, and he had me go in for an MRI. Now, an MRI is one of those fancy machines that you see where athletes are getting checked out for broken bones and for ACL tears and things of that nature. But so he was looking at my spine, which I didn't have any idea why he would want to look at my back when my leg was the actual problem. So long story short, he gets the MRI back. He puts it up for me to see. And I'm just like, okay, doc, what do we got to do to patch me up? I had been used to working with my trainers in my in my athletics to just get me back on the field. And he was like, whoa, hold on, son. There's nothing you can do about this. And the pain that I was experiencing and my inability to walk properly now was something that was, in his opinion, going to be long term. As in his opinion, it was going to be for the rest of my life. He told me that I had a disease called degenerative spinal disease, or degenerative disc disease, as he told me. And this was something that he said happened to 80-year-old plus people. And so I'm looking at him in confusion, like, what does this all mean? And he told me when I asked, so what do we got to do here to get me better? And he got frustrated, and he had me he actually directed my face to look at the MRI, and he said, son, you got the spine of an 80-year-old. There's nothing you can do about this. This is something you're going to have to manage. I'm going to get you a back brace. I'm going to get you some medication. And you're just going to have to live with it. Those are tough words hearing when you're, at this point, I was 20 years old. I had the spine of an 80-year-old person, and I'd never be able to walk normally again. And so I don't know to this day, was it like my spirit animal or my fairy godmother or something that talked through me and asked this question, because I had no idea that this mattered. I asked him, does this have anything to do with what I'm eating? Should I change my diet? And again, he literally looked at me like I was crazy. He said, this has nothing to do with what you're eating. And then he went on to write me a prescription to eat some pills. Okay? He said, this has nothing to do with what I'm putting in my mouth, but here, put these pills in your mouth anyways. And that is the paradigm I was dealing with, a paradigm completely confused and not understanding that what you put in your mouth does matter. It does matter. As a matter of fact, those are the things that's creating your health and creating your body. So my life had been riddled down to 2.5 years of doctor visits and medications. I saw 5 doctors in total to get different opinions, and they all said the same thing. It was very disheartening. I definitely went into pretty strong depression and really questioning my value and my life, my worthiness. And it was incredibly frustrating and hurtful. And there was a lot of fear associated with it. But one day, I made a decision. Something changed. I was about to take my medication so that I can sleep, because the pain was so bad that it would wake me up at night if I changed positions. I was sitting down to take my medication, and I had realized in that moment that I had been trusting in these people outside of myself to dictate my life and to tell me what I was going to be able to accomplish. And that created a lot of resistance in me all of a sudden. And I decided right then that no matter what, come what may, I'm going to get better. I'm going to live my life and be the best version of me, no matter what anyone else says. I made a decision to find out everything that I could about health and the human body, and not focus on disease as much. I was going to understand this disease because no one actually took the time to explain to me how this happened to a young man. But I was going to find out about health and how to be the most vitalized, energized, radiant person possible. Now, it wasn't like I rode off into the sunset on a unicorn and little elves came out or anything crazy like that. No rainbows. The clouds didn't part. What really happened was work. I put a plan together and I set out to make a change. And I stopped hitting my head against the wall and actually did some things that worked. Now for me, one of those things was being active. This was counterintuitive and against what my doctors were telling me to do. They were telling me a lot of bed rest, wear this back brace, be careful, because you don't want to get any worse. Well, the funny thing is your body requires you to move in order to heal itself. Your body requires you to move to assimilate all of the nutrition that you put into your body. If you're taking any fancy supplements to try to heal yourself and to get better, your body's not going to assimilate it if you don't move. And there are many studies to back this up. This is real. So I began to move again, just to start to walk, start to ride a stationary bike, lift a few weights. And fast forward 6 weeks later, I had lost 30 pounds. I had lost 30 pounds. Now, results not typical. I'm going to make that clear. I lost 30 pounds because I had been stagnant. I had been docile for 2.5 years, just basically laying on my floor, playing video games, eating fast food. So it was radical change that happened in my health. And there's a big thing, a big difference too, was in the nutrition. And we're going to talk about that today. the most powerful thing in the world. Now, I ultimately, through this process, achieved real success, real happiness, because out of my greatest frustration, my greatest pain, came my life's purpose and came my mission. And it was the birthing of my career, because people saw the transformation that happened and they started to ask me for help. Since I was still in school, I shifted my course of study over into biology, kinesiology, understanding the human body, and I set out to help every single person that I could. And this is what I want for you. You no longer have to settle. You no longer have to sit back and wait for something life-changing to happen. That moment is now. It's time to get on your purpose. And part and parcel to that is you being healthy and you having the energy to make that happen. So if you're ready, and if you're engaged and ready to get started with me, let me know in the comment section right now. And we're going to go ahead and get into this amazing content and strategies and tips that I have for you today. Now, what you're going to learn today, and by the way, in the comment section below, there's going to be a dialogue, and SS is going to be helping to answer any questions you have along the way. But we're going to do a Q&A at the end. But right now, I want to know if you're ready for me to give you this information. So go ahead and post it in the comment section. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're going to cover today. So today you're going to learn a proven strategy to help you lose at least 2 inches off your waist in less than 2 weeks. Okay? We do this just clinically over and over again, and also in my amazing programs, they follow the same routine. And it's an average of 2 inches off your waist. Could be more. You're also going to learn the type of exercise you need to stop doing, or you're never going to keep body fat off long term. You're going to learn 2 simple tips to boost your energy every day, how to program yourself to stop craving healthy foods forever. You're also going to learn why improving your sexual health is critical to fat loss. You're going to learn 3 exercises for men to improve sexual performance. Yeah. And you're also going to learn 4 essential steps for women to improve their libido. You're also going to learn how to eat and exercise for productivity. 3 simple steps to improve your sleep quality, and the #1 secret to safely lose body fat long term. So I see you guys in the chat. Let's go. Ready to go. Ready? Everybody's ready. Yep. Jen. Yep. We've got another ready. We've got some smiley faces ready to go. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and dive in. So we're going to start off with how to eat, exercise, and recharge for better body and more productivity. Let's do this. So this is what I teach when I do trainings, when I'm brought into corporations, to businesses, when I'm brought in to speak. I teach my unique perspective about how to be the fittest version of yourself and the healthiest version of yourself, and I call it the Peak Performance Trilogy. And it's really simple, but it's the pieces within it that really separate what I teach from a lot of other misinformation out there. The Peak Performance Trilogy, basically there's 3 components. Now it's sort of like if you're doing one of these things right, that's like a one-legged stool, or like you're going through life on a unicycle. You know, if somebody comes by in a hurry, they can knock you over so easily. You add another leg onto there. If you got 2 of these things handled, you're more stable, but yet you're still going to be having a tendency to fall over. Once you bring that 3rd component in, you get real stability. All right, so we've got the nutrition is the first portion, exercise, and sleep. These are unbreakable, infallible keys to having the body and life that you want. And I'm going to explain to you what things you need to focus on and why these are so important. It really starts with this diet drama. The word diet itself is built in, within it, the concept and the feeling tone of deprivation, restriction, not enough, I can't have, but also it's important to understand that it intrinsically has a built-in end date. This is why diets don't work. It begins in order to end. All right, and there's a real big problem with this. Here are the core reasons for diet struggles in the Western world. There's a lack of honest information and education. Period, end of story. There's so much garbage out there, and you guys know this. I was taught a lot of this stuff in college. Like, I was taught the wrong stuff. I was taught things that made half of my clients incapable of getting the results that were possible for them, because I was teaching this standard nutrition information that was funded by the very companies that get rich off of people being sick. And there's also a lack of emotional wellness. This is huge. I mean, the nutrition information, the exercise information, it's pretty easy. You guys know how important it is, but why can't you do it? It's really about getting your emotional wellness in check, your hormones, your relationships, your mindset. We're going to talk about that too. Here's what I was taught in my university while I'm bringing up the fact that I was taught the wrong thing. And this is the conventional theory believed by millions of people. So I was taught by my very first nutrition teacher that in order to lose weight, we need to create a negative caloric balance. And you've probably heard this before. Basically, you need to expend more energy than you take in. You need to burn more calories and eat less calories, and then you'll lose weight. Simple, right? Well, millions upon millions of people have employed this strategy, and here's the end result. 95% of people who diet and use that formula, use that strategy, regain the weight. 95% of people fail. They gain the weight back plus some. And that's astronomical. These are smart people, good people, well-educated people, determined people. But the truth is, if you give a smart person, a determined person, the wrong map, they're going to end up in the wrong destination. And that's what this is really about. We got to be honest about it. It's a pass or fail. If you've been part of that system like I have, where you've dieted and you failed, put your hand up, because I've been there too. But we need to acknowledge the fact that we did fail so that we can do something that actually does work. And here's real quickly, I'm just going to drill this down for you, and then we'll get into deeper understanding. This is why it fails. When you diet, your metabolism slows down. Then the end of the diet comes, you get back to eating normally again, and you gain the weight back. This is how it happens on the surface. But I'm going to explain to you what's really going on with your genetics and with your cells themselves. Your body. We might have these fancy gadgets. We've got our iPhones. We've got our amazing computers. We've got these space age cars. We don't have like Jetson cars yet. I don't know when they're going to have that. But anyways, we've got all these innovations, and we think we're so evolved. But the reality is the human body has been evolved over eons. Since the beginning of time, it's been evolving in order to adapt to circumstances, in order to adapt to stress. And your ancestors, it's not like today where we don't have to hunt. Literally, if you're hungry, you could just walk over to the refrigerator. They weren't always fortunate enough to have access to a lot of food like we have today. So their bodies evolved systems in them so that when there's a lack of calories, when there's a lack of caloric energy from food, their metabolism would slow down in order to prevent them from starving. Okay, so again, our ancestors' bodies were evolved, and yours is as well, that when you cut away calories, the metabolism slows down so that the body can protect itself and keep you alive. All right, so you're literally, when you go into a diet, you're eliciting that program that, hey, I'm going to take this food away all of a sudden. I'm going to take these calories away, and your body becomes fearful. Its number one priority and modus operandi is to keep you alive. So with that said, the metabolism slows down in order to protect you. And this is what people are missing out on. They're not understanding when you cut those calories away, it can be a huge problem. And here's why it's an even bigger problem. I want you to understand this and write this down. Muscle is your body's fat-burning machinery. Okay? What's been found is that when individuals lose weight through cutting calories, through dieting, when individuals lose weight through cutting calories, what they're losing in that weight that they lose is going to be from up to 70% of their lean muscle tissue. Okay, I'm going to say that again. When you cut calories in order to lose weight, the weight that you lose, 70% of that is coming from your muscle tissue. You're literally burning away your body's fat-burning machinery. You're losing it. This is why people gain the weight back plus some, because they've damaged their metabolism. That's a huge insight. I really hope you got that one. We don't want to lose our muscle because it's the key to keeping body fat off long term. Let me get a drink real quick, guys. Now, Here's the difference in what we're doing. Weight loss versus fat loss. Yes, you're going to lose some weight, but we don't want to be focused on that. We want to focus on losing actual fat mass. Weight loss is going to be a combination of muscle, fat, yes, you'll lose some fat, and water weight. Okay? You end up with a decreased fitness level, decreased strength, poor performance, early aging. You're accelerating the aging process when you cut calories in a haphazard way. There are also some ways that you can strategically pull away certain types of calories and increase your longevity, but that's a whole other topic. You also reduce your immunity. With fat loss, through proper nutrition strategies and proper training for your unique body type, you get improved fitness, greater strength, peak performance, delayed aging, reduced risk of disease. It all boils down to this. This is the most important term of this webinar right here. Muscle is your body's fat-burning machinery is the most important phrase. Hormones is the most important term. You've really got to take in and body and understand that this isn't controlling the show here. So what are hormones? Let's start there. Well, hormones really simply are chemical messengers that control your body's communication. Okay? So hormones are determining the information that your cells are sharing between each other. Okay? And so to give you an example of what hormones are functioning like and how things can kind of run astray, I want you to take a look at these two words. And tell me if you can notice the difference in these two words. You don't got to write in the chat box. Just notice what's the difference in these two words. If you've got a keen eye, you'll probably notice that the difference was just that one line below the F. It was just one line, one piece of communication, one piece of data gave a totally different meaning. And the same thing can happen with your hormone function. If one hormonal structure or hormonal communication is off, it can lead to a totally different end result with your health and fitness. It's all just such a delicate balance. It can be as simple as you're eating foods that are allergens to you, or you're using care products that are causing your skin to be irritated, but you have no idea why your skin has been irritated for so long, and it's been the very thing that you thought was making you better. It could be something so simple. It could be the water you're drinking. You know, there's so many different little factors that can throw your hormones off. We need to be aware of that. Now, what do we do about these hormones? Because the reality is we need to shift from a calorie focus, because you guys now understand that calories are not the thing we want to focus on. As a matter of fact, an obsessive focus on calories can really screw you up. It's not that they don't matter. They definitely matter. If you eat 5,000 calories of donuts, you're probably going to gain some fat, yeah? But that's not the thing that's doing it. What's really changing your body is your hormones. Your hormones literally determine what your body does with the calories you consume. The number one metabolic hormone we need to focus on right now, as far as fat storage, is insulin. Okay, insulin. When you hear that word, you probably think of diabetes. Most people do. But insulin is the most important hormone for your body to store energy. It's your body's major fat storing hormone / energy storing hormone. We all need insulin. But when it's running amok, it can be a problem. So what does insulin do? It signals your cells to open up and store more energy / glucose / potential fat. The more insulin is triggered, the more this is happening, unless you're insulin resistant, which is another thing that we can talk about. You learning more about how to find out about that. What you want to do, very simply, is avoid chronically high glycemic foods to help keep insulin in check. It is so simple. If insulin is your body's fat storing hormone, and it's activated most vigorously by eating high glycemic foods, by eating carbohydrates, then what do we want to do? We want to back off on those carbohydrates, right? Especially the high glycemic carbohydrates, which we'll talk a little bit about in a moment. And again, it's all about the hormones. Enter HSL. So HSL is hormone sensitive lipase. Okay, hormone sensitive lipase. So what's going on with this, and why is this important? Well, when less sugar is in your bloodstream, that means less insulin is being produced by your pancreas. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. When less sugar is in your bloodstream, less insulin is being produced by your pancreas. And when insulin levels drop, HSL rises. It goes up. And this enzyme is literally a fat burning switch. This is the #1 key to long-term fat loss. You're hearing it right here. It's so simple. It's right here on a simple slide. You just got to really understand how powerful this is. So this enzyme turns on, it's a fat burning switch when insulin levels drop. Its job is to actually dissolve stored fat, breaking it down into smaller components called fatty acids, which your body can then use that fat for energy. Again, guys, it's all about the hormones. Getting a little drink. Hopefully you're getting one too. Having a drink with me. So to drill this in even deeper about this hormone stuff, I want you to think about a time back when you were a teenager, when you were younger, when you could eat a lot more crazy food, right? You can eat like burgers and calzones. And what did I used to eat? Quarter pounders, large pizzas, shakes, all this stuff. Root beer floats. We used to go to this place called Dog and Suds. Get a hot dog and your root beer float. You know, you can eat all that stuff and you didn't really, your body didn't change that much. You didn't really gain weight. Do you remember a time like that when you can just eat whatever and you didn't get fat? For most people, they can remember that. And the question is now, like today, if you even look at a piece of pizza, like your butt starts shaking, your arms start jiggling for like a week if you eat one donut. You know, if you eat a piece of cake at a coworker's birthday, like you feel so fat and bloated. You know, what happened? What changed between when you were younger, when you were a teenager, when you were a kid, and now? Why is it hurting you now? What changed is your hormones changed. That's the difference. Okay, food is still the same, but your hormones are different. That's the key of what we need to focus on. And by the way, if you were one of those people who, you know, you were a chubby kid, it's all good. Think about a person you know even today who they can just eat whatever and they don't seem to gain weight. You know, we might not like them too much. We love them. We might not like them, but it's because their hormones are functioning differently than yours are. All right, very, very simple, but really most people have the experience of being younger and being able to, quote, get away with this stuff, but it all changes when your hormones change. So let me show you right now the honest information about really how to utilize this nutrition and to leverage your hormones, to eat a hormone healthy nutrition strategy to have the body you want. I'm going to share with you the 4 pillars of peak performance eating. All right, guys, so let's buckle it in. Again, take good notes. I'm going to go through these quickly and then we'll go deeper into each one. Number 1, eat real food. Number 2, focus on non-starchy vegetables and protein for the hormonal effects. Number 3, avoid ugly foods. All right, that's an acronym we'll get to in a moment. Number 4, eat micronutrient-rich foods. Here we go. Step 1, eat real food. What is real food? That's so vague, isn't it? I like to give the example so that you can really know what real food is. If someone was to come into your kitchen, okay, someone was to come into your kitchen from an indigenous tribe that has never seen this Western world technology, which apparently there's about 100 of these tribes still left. Excuse me, they don't even know what a cell phone is. All right, which is crazy, right? There's still tribes that exist like this. What if one of those individuals came into your kitchen and looked around at your food? All right, so they go over to the fruits and vegetables. You take them over there and they see the fruits and vegetables and they're like, yes, we have fruits and vegetables. All right, that's my indigenous voice. We have fruits and vegetables. Then you take them over to the nuts and seeds and they're like, yes, we have nuts and seeds. Then you take them to your animal foods, your meat, and they see that and they're like, yes, we hunt animals. Then you take them over to your Doritos. Then you take them over to your Funyuns, your goldfish crackers, your Entenmann's, the little Entenmann cakes. I hope you guys remember the Entenmann cakes. I love those. Like my mom's friend would always get that when I would come over. This pound cake, right? Oh my goodness. Do you know why I call it a pound cake? It's like a pound of sugar, a pound of butter, a pound of flour, a pound of everything, you know, and it puts mad pounds on you. And it's just a wonder, like, why are people eating this? So anyways, they see this stuff and they can't recognize where it came from. You know, it doesn't resemble any fiber of the earth anymore. It's so denatured that you can't recognize it. That's not real food. Okay? That's not real food. Even bread. Okay? Bread does not resemble a piece of wheat anymore. Where it started from. It's been denatured and changed and modified so much and mutated that now you got this loaf of whatever. right? And some people, that's going to hit a little button for them, like, no, not bread. But yes, it's okay. Uh, grab your security blanket. It's going to be all right. There's something far more useful and far more better and far more healthy for you that I'm going to share with you. I guarantee you that. But we've got to understand and get a clear discernment about what real food is. Real food is food that you can recognize where it came from. It still has the essence of life and nature and earth, and you are from that. You're not separate from nature. And people forget that. You know, we can't just go and eat ding dongs and ho hos without consequences. And I think Host is actually subliminally messing with us by like this ding dong and ho ho thing. They're calling us names probably. You big Twinkie. All right. Step 2, focus on non-starchy veggies, protein, and healthy fats. Here's why. Non-starchy veggies have this really interesting ability to signal satiety hormones, the hormones in your body that actually turn off that ravenous monster that you can become when you get hungry for your treats. So like it literally can turn that off. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but also the very interesting capacities that it has on other hormones as well, on regulating your blood, on regulating your brain function. Okay, there's so many amazing factors that come in non-starchy vegetables. And then protein, this is the #1 satiety food, and this is also the #1 metabolic boosting food because your body requires more energy to break down protein, right? And then the healthy fats, this is critical because again, it goes back to the satiety. It's like putting a big log on your metabolic fire versus when you put on a bowl of cereal, a bowl of Rice Krispies. That's like putting a piece of paper on your metabolic fire. It burns really bright, really quickly, but then it goes out fast, and now you're hungry again. When you put some healthy fats like avocado, like coconut, like nuts and seeds, okay, like other fatty vegetables and fruits, even animal foods that have high quality fats, you put that on a metabolic fire, it can burn for a much, much longer, much more sustained amount of time. Step 3, avoid ugly foods, okay? That stands for unnatural, glycemic deranging, low micronutrients, and irritating. Unnatural foods, we've already talked about that. If it comes from a drive-through window, chances are it's unnatural. If it has a mascot, chances are it's unnatural. Glycemic deranging, these are the foods that are going to spike your insulin through the roof. Then also on the other end, have you go hypoglycemic. Low micronutrients, they don't have the stuff that we need, which we're going to talk about in a moment. Irritating, literally creating inflammation in your body when you eat some Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I saw the other day, I was at my son's football game, there's Flamin' Hot Funyuns. Ah! Oh my, what I would do back when I was a kid to have some of that. But the reality is like fake food now. It's like, why would you do that to yourself? Pains and grains. This is important. This is an important factor that I want to bring up really quickly. A lot of people, and by the way, I got this from the movie Pain and Gain with The Rock, Mark Wahlberg. You know, I don't know how many people have seen it, but that's where I got this title from. Say hi to your mother for me. That's my Mark Wahlberg impression. We found a transformer. Anyways, pain and grains, not pain and gains. Lectins, all right? Lectins are found in bread, in wheat in particular. And wheat has these interesting compounds. These lectins have this very strange ability. If you go ahead and put your fingers, you know how you interlace your fingers? Go ahead and interlace your fingers, okay? So like when somebody just sits and they have their fingers interlaced, and then you open up your hands and look inside. And what you can do, you can actually hold water with your interlaced hands like this. Now start to pull your hands apart a little bit, and you start to see that there's some openings in that very solid structure that we once had. And now stuff can leak through. This is literally what lectins do to your gut lining. They start to push through your gut lining and create perforation so that foreign objects can get into your bloodstream. This is the root cause of nearly all autoimmune conditions. I've seen asthma reverse. I've seen rheumatoid arthritis reverse. I've seen Hashimoto's reversed. I've seen so many allergies and heart disease. So many things rooted in people removing the cause of what's actually creating the problem. Okay, not treating a symptom with a drug. All right. So lectins, also grains, in particular wheat. We're just going to focus on wheat. Contain phytates. These are anti-nutrients that bind and block the absorption of protein. Okay. Then other anti-nutrients that block the absorption of vitamins and minerals. They're extremely high glycemic as well. 2 slices of whole wheat, quote, healthy bread is equivalent to about 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now, if you're worried about your blood sugar and insulin, you wouldn't just go drink, something with 2 tablespoons of straight up sugar in it, would you? But people are eating bread like this all the time, and the world is changing. It's changing a lot right now. People are becoming aware of this. I just don't want you to be the last person to be like, bread is dead, bro. It's a wrap on that. We got this handled. We're on to something better. Pull these grain foods out to heal your gut and experience radically improved health. We're going to turn that frown upside down. Why is your gut health so important? Your immune system. The vast majority, upwards of 80% of your immune system is actually located in your gut. Serotonin production. Many people today are on serotonin reuptake inhibitors for depression, for example, to keep serotonin in your body longer. Serotonin, the majority of it is produced in your gut. People are literally eating depression. They're eating depression and have no idea about it. Digestion and assimilation. It's not you are what you eat. It's you are what you digest. Okay? So if you're not digesting all the fancy supplements and food you're spending your money on, it's pointless. And also elimination. We got to get the nastiness out. This is why gut health is so important. You can replace these safe starches and more with these things. Okay? So I'm sorry, you can replace grains with these safe starches. All right? Because some people what do I do? I don't have bread. I don't have my Hawaiian roll, man. I don't have my biscuit on the side of my plate. It's okay. We can replace that with some higher quality safe starches like yams, sweet potatoes, even potatoes. White rice, depending on your level of health. White rice is just a simple carbohydrate. There's no nutrition really there. But people thousands of years ago figured out. Have you wondered why most Indian cultures, Asian cultures, they're not eating brown rice? They're eating white rice. It's like, do they not know brown rice is healthier? Well, in reality, they figured out thousands of years ago that it contained in that bran a particular gut irritant. Okay, that for some people, they find out, I'm eating healthier, I'm eating brown rice now, but I'm still bloated. I still don't feel well after I have this meal. Not for everybody. Some people can eat brown rice until they become a piece of brown rice. They're walking brown rice. And it's okay. But some people, just be aware of this. It could be a potential problem. Fruit. It's another thing you can replace on your plate. Different flours to make your treats and baked goods. You can use like amazing flours, coconut flour, almond flour, tapioca, whatever. Combine amazing things. I've had some of the most amazing treats since getting off of the grains. And then here's the real key. If you're really adamant about losing a lot of fat, add in more fat. Okay, the nuts, seeds, avocados, coconut on your plate, and then more vegetables, and that's really the key. Because step 4 is eat micronutrient-rich foods. And why is this important? Why are they so important? These are the kales, the brassica family, the cruciferous vegetables. Okay, these foods have really interesting compounds. Number 1, micronutrients. So these are the things that actually enact and turn on the hormonal things like leptin and help to disperse and break down insulin. Okay, so it assists your liver in breaking down insulin because your liver is responsible for getting insulin out of your body once it's secreted. Isn't that kind of important? You don't want insulin just acting up all the time. So the micronutrients that are found in non-starchy vegetables, the green leafy vegetables, the cruciferous families, the broccolis, all that kind of stuff can actually do these interesting things with your hormones. Phytonutrients, okay, enzymes. These help to create biological processes. So you basically work better. Everything works better when you have more vegetables. And then, of course, the fiber content. Far higher quality fiber than that high fiber cereal that's really creating like an inflammatory reaction. Your body's just evacuating versus having a nice, safe, smart movement, It's a totally different thing. So you're getting really high quality fiber that will, again, enact these hormonal effects. So I'm going to get a drink, guys. Really quickly, I want to point out why I shared this picture of this girl. This was Me. No, I was not a girl, but I was like this girl. This girl is really doing what I used to do when I would see vegetables on my plate when I was a kid. Now today, I mean, there's no vegetable that I don't enjoy. Like I just love so many different vegetables, and it was because I changed my palate. I was not. There was no way it was gonna even cross my lips. I didn't eat a salad. This is a true story. I didn't eat a salad until I was 25 years old. It was the first time I ever ate a salad. No joke. I'm coming from that place, guys. And then to be one of the top health experts in the world, that is profound, you know? And this is possible for you as well to get over all your weird stuff about food because you can change your palate with the things that I'm teaching. Here's what we eat for peak performance: vegetables, fruits, nuts and seeds, animal proteins, and superfoods. There it is, guys. Stick to that, and you're going to be able to lose 2 inches off your waist in 2 weeks. Now, these are just a sampling of all the amazing meals that you can create with real food. Okay, so for your little tart, you can use a nut base, nut flours, stir fries, amazing meals. There's so many amazing things. There's no lack here. This is totally different than a diet. You're eating more. I want you to eat more food, not less. I just want you to make sure that you're employing and make sure, in particular, you're getting a high amount, preferably half of your plate in non-starchy vegetables because of all the hormonal benefits at every meal. Okay, this doesn't mean, oh, well, not breakfast. Why not? And breakfast in our country is dessert. Really, you know, we got to have something sweet when we wake up because we've been programmed that way. Have the OJ, you know, and have your breakfast sandwich or your bowl of cereal, and you're starting your day by spiking your insulin. Totally nuts. Quick shout out and note about beans and dairy. You know the song, beans, beans, good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. All right. We know that beans create gastrointestinal distress, bloating, that whole thing. And so does dairy for many people that are lactose intolerant. And if you're here with me right now and listening to this, chances are you're not able to digest dairy and you are lactose intolerant. Okay. Unless you're a baby listening to this. And if you're a baby listening to this, virtual high five because you're awesome and you're a baby and you're listening to health information. You're going to do amazing. Superfoods, really quick: cacao, goji berries, hemp seeds, spirulina have a tremendous amount of micronutrients, essential amino acids, polysaccharides, just all this stuff that can help to, again, help your hormones to really up level and upgrade themselves. Let's get into the next part, guys, of the Peak Performance Trilogy. Let me get a quick drink. Take a look in the chat room. See how you guys are doing. All right, guys, here we go. Next step is the exercise component. Let's roll. Question I want you to ask yourself: is exercise really about looking good? Is that the end goal? Well, the truth is, exercise, the word exercise is derived from the word exorcism. Okay? Exercise is derived from exorcism, which really means to get the stuff out of you, to detoxify, to eliminate the things that should not be there. All right? That's what exercise is really for. The human body requires you to move in order to get rid of waste. So if you're not exercising every day, being active, and I'm not talking about like you got to go hit the gym and you know, deadlift 7 days a week or anything like that, but the human body requires you to be active or you're going to become a human cesspool. Metabolic waste, toxicity is just going to build up in you, and it's just the out picturing of that is not going to be pretty. John F. Kennedy said this: physical fitness is not only the most important key, one of the most important keys to a healthy body, it is the basis of dynamic and creative intellectual activity. He's giving you a spotlight on the fact that exercise is incredibly important for the function of your brain. All proven today. That dude knew what he was talking about way back then. Here's some misconceptions about exercise. Common misconceptions. These things are not true. You're supposed to do more cardio if fat loss is your goal. You're supposed to work out 6 or 7 days a week. You're supposed to work out at least an hour. The longer, the better. You're supposed to be wiped out or you didn't get a good workout. So you see the people that are laid out on the floor, right? You're supposed to focus on cardio for fat loss and weight loss. You end up looking like this fella, right? You're a human hamster just running on this hamster wheel and really nowhere to go. You know, it's running in place. And so many people fall victim to this because they believe that they're supposed to do that in order to lose fat. But most of the time, you see everybody who's over on the treadmill, just plugging away, are not the fittest people in the gym. It's the people who are over there doing something different, which we're going to talk about in a moment. Here's why traditional cardio doesn't work. Running is a very catabolic process. It triggers the constant release of stress hormones. Okay, it's connected to a primal programming. Running equals being chased or chasing your food. Okay, your biology does not care that you're just going to jog. Your evolutionary biology is in control, and when you're running, it's just like there's some event going on. You know, your biology really feels that you're being chased by something and you're not getting away because, like, why is this fool running for 60 minutes? You know, or you're chasing your food and the body's like, this fool's never going to catch their food. Let me release more stress hormones and store more fat. This radically also increases your risk of overuse injuries and muscle loss. Now, I got to say this, that if you love running and it's meditative for you, it's healing for you, go do it. But I just don't want to get it twisted that that's what you need to do to lose fat, because there are far more effective ways. Here's what our bodies are designed to do. Move slow for long periods of time, i.e. walking. Move very fast for short periods of time, i.e. sprinting. Lift heavy things occasionally. That's what we're designed to do. Walking is the body's best medicine. Walk first thing in the morning in a fasted state. This is a really great fat loss tip and another key to losing 2 inches off your waist in 2 weeks. And this is when if your endocrine system is going to be something that you're concerned about, which I would hope so at this point, because your endocrine system is your hormonal system. This is ensuring that it's more balanced versus when you just get up in the morning, you start running in a fasted state, you're going to be secreting a lot more stress hormones. So your endocrine system is imbalanced. So this is going to give your body more of a green light to go and use stored fat for energy. If you're not metabolically broken, by the way, walking in a fasted state first thing in the morning can be like magic, right? But if you do have some metabolic issues, history of like thyroid problems, all that stuff, we got to tweak things a little bit for you, but you're still generally going to be able to do this with a couple little tweaks. Do this 35 minutes a day. That has been found to be the perfect spot, you know. But if you're working on a serious goal, 60 minutes. And make the time useful. Some people are like, I don't have 60 minutes to walk. This is the time when you can learn while you burn. Put on your favorite podcast, hopefully it's the Model Health Show. Put on different things to learn and study about the industry that maybe you're interested in getting into. If you're interested about getting in the health and wellness field, learning about that, learning about business, whatever it might be, there's podcasts for everything. You know, our audiobooks. Make the time useful. Sexy time, guys. It's sexy time. Let's do this. All right. 3 tips for men to improve their sexual performance. Tip number 1 is to control your breath. Control your breath. Control your breathing via doing deep breathing exercises. This might be news for a lot of people, but your control, your ability to sustain yourself as a man is intimately tied to your breathing. Okay, so when your breathing becomes very shallow, like when we get really excited, right? We're losing control because we're also losing control of our breath. Okay, so practicing deep breathing exercises on a regular basis can help you to tune back in, to get back in your body, to get in control, and to stay in the game, right? To not have the game end too quickly, right? So control your breathing, do deep breathing exercises. I promise you that piece of data right there is going to pay off big dividends for you when the game is on the line, all right? You can come back to that and think about, get back into your breathing and get back into your body. All right, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to become an expert in body weight exercises. All right, if you're going to move her body, you need to be able to move your body. That's so important. And just being able to do a lot of these basic human movements is going to show up very, very well in your sexual performance. Do heavy deadlifts and or squats. This is for the hormonal effects, the secretion of anabolic hormones. In particular for you, boosting your testosterone, which is that aggressive male hormone. It's not just about that, but it's part of it, you know, so that you can really show up and be fully male, fully strong. Here's 4 essential steps for women to improve their libido. Number 1, eat a hormone healthy diet. That's all the stuff we've been talking about today. That's the big key here. You're going to feel more sexy when you're eating sexy. Tip number 2 is to lift heavier weights. Now, this might come as a surprise to some ladies out there, but a lot more women today are getting this because it's a myth that lifting weights makes you bigger. That's the myth. The truth is, donuts make you bigger. Okay? Ask Homer Simpson. He's been at it for a long time. No, I'm seriously, lifting heavy weights makes you bigger. It is a total lie and total misconception that people have believed for so long because they look at bodybuilders. But the reality is, there are so many fit women who are lifting some crazy weight, and they're just building lean, petite, beautiful muscle. You know, that you don't got to be all big and bulky and swole up. It's not about that. It's the food. The food is really what makes you big. You got to eat like it's your full-time job, straight up, to gain weight and to get big like a lot of these guys. So here's an example. Same weight, but different sizes and shapes. It can show up so much different depending on the amount of muscle you have on your frame. And the reason why is that muscle takes up far less space than fat does. Okay? You see the 5 pounds of fat? It's pretty substantially different than the muscle. This is why people lose so many inches when they get into my programs so quickly, and their clothes and their pants are too big, and because they're changing over this body constitution. Okay? So they're actually getting rid of body fat and building more lean muscle, so they show up and they're actually smaller. Your beautiful lean muscle occupies less space. You lose inches and look better in and out of your clothes. All right? And that is important. The most effective way to influence your hormones is through exercise. All right? This is like top secret stuff here. So powerful. Muscle is your reservoir for anti-aging fat-burning hormones. So the more muscle you have, the more anti-aging hormones you have on deck to help you to buffer stress. The less muscle you have, the more susceptible you're going to be to stress, and stress aging you. Okay? This is so powerful. I really hope you get that. The more muscle you have, the more anti-aging hormones you're going to have as a reservoir, as a reserve to help to protect you and keep you young. All right? So, and also, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. Strong is the new skinny, baby. It's all about building that strength and being a strong human being. All right? It's not about being, a stick figure. That's not, most people don't want that. It's really about being strong, being the best version of yourself. So, number 3 on the tips for improving libido for women is to become an expert in bodyweight exercise. Again, you need to know how to do basic human movements and move your own body if you're going to use and move my body. If you're going to move your husband or your boyfriend or your partner's body, you need to learn how to move your own body. Number 4 is to go shopping. Seriously, women really have to tap into the most important things about being a woman, which is that freedom to express yourself and to conversate with friends and to just have that outlet. And I promise you, the partners who are listening for their women, encourage them to do this because you're going to get the benefit. I promise you that. Just go, let them go and whatever, and they're going to come back so much better. All right? We're on to the final part of the Peak Performance Trilogy, guys. I hope that you are enjoying this. I'm going to go through this one really quickly because I want to give you some extra tips about that second key and why diets fail. A study published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal showed that sleep deprivation is directly related to an inability to lose weight. Test subjects were put on the same exercise, same diet, but those who were in the sleep deprivation group, those who were sleep deprived, who got less than 6 hours a night, consistently lost less weight and body fat than the people who slept for 8+ hours a night. It's right there in black and white, guys. If you're not sleeping, you will never, I repeat, you will never have and maintain the body that you deserve, the body that you want. Sleep is the key. It's the secret sauce. And also on another level, your ability to control your diet, control what you're eating, control your nutrition, control your exercise, all your things that you're passionate about doing become extremely hard, if not impossible, if you're sleep deprived because of this fact. Is that what they discovered is that when you're sleep deprived, 12 to 14% of the glucose that will be getting to your prefrontal cortex, this is the part of your brain that's about distinguishing ideas, social control, the ability to distinguish between right and wrong, good and bad. That part of your brain starts to starve. Okay, so what do? You go for the snacky, sweet, salty, sugary treats to get instant glucose back to that part of your brain. Your body, if you've ever eaten a Laffy Taffy, if you've ever eaten a donut or a hot dog bun with a hot dog on it, hopefully, your body remembers that it's a quick source of nutrition to get that glucose back to your brain, because it's dangerous to have that amount of lack of energy getting to your brain, because historically you could die because you might make a poor decision and get attacked or something of that nature. But again, these mechanisms are still alive and well within you today. I'm going to share with you 3 tips to sleep better and live better. Let me get a quick drink. This is just a small bit from my best-selling book, Sleep Smarter. Sleep Smarter, #1 bestseller on Amazon. 21 proven tips to sleep your way to a better body, better health, bigger success. Just 3 quick tips. #1, have a screen curfew. Why is this important? Well, it's been discovered that iPad use just before bed is enough on a maximum brightness to depress your body's natural secretion of melatonin. Melatonin is the get good sleep hormone. So you might go to sleep after you get off of the computer or the iPad or turn off the TV, but you're not going to get into the deeper non-REM sleep that's actually going to recover your body and actually create the state. That's a state when your body produces the most anti-aging reparative hormones. Okay, so you're going to miss out on a lot of that. So have a screen curfew. Give yourself 90 minutes from getting off these screens before you go to bed. Get it blacked out. That's tip #2. We sleep best in a totally dark place. It's not just your eyes, not just a face mask. I'm sorry, an eye mask. Some people might wear a face mask to bed. I don't know. That's creepy. But an eye mask. But your skin actually has photoreceptors. Okay, your skin has photoreceptors that pick up light. So if there's like a bright light, street light coming in through your room, or your neighbor's porch light, or whatever the case may be, get your room blacked out. And you can get some dark curtains to make that happen for yourself. And it's pretty simple, and I promise you it's going to improve your sleep quality immediately. Tip #3 is to create a sleep sanctuary. Your bedroom should be for 2 primary purposes. All right, sleep and the other S, which I hope you know, sex. Sleep and sex, guys. You shouldn't be bringing your work into your bedroom. That's crazy pants. Why would you do that? That's crazy. You want to create a neural association that your bedroom is for those 2 purposes, because your brain will literally learn from a pattern. If you go into your room to do work, to get on the computer, to watch television, you're going to turn on your brain. You're going to secrete more cortisol rather than turning it down. All right. Quick bonus tip is to calm your inner chatter. A lot of people aren't falling asleep or staying asleep because they've got so much inner chatter. There's this voice in their head, and there's constant talking and worrying about this and that. There are some amazing strategies in how to guide and direct your mind and your focus so that you can calm your mind and get some really good high quality sleep. And I talk about that in the book, and I also talk about that a little bit in programs that I share with people. Okay, guys, so this is the bonus stuff here. Emotional wellness, hormones, relationships, mindset. Okay, these are the keys to getting that long-term health and well-being. And it really roots in the discovery recently of the newly found social brain. Okay, this is what scientists are calling it, the social brain. These mirror neurons are in all of our brains, and what they do is they basically simulate anything that we're exposed to. So right now, as you're listening to me, these mirror neurons in your brain are simulating your brain doing what I'm doing. So it's like literally your brain is processing as if you are the one talking right now. That's how powerful this is. Your brain is going through the motions as if I'm speaking. Okay, I'm sorry, as if you're speaking. Same thing goes if you're watching anything. If you're watching television, your brain is simulating you being a part of it. This is why we get so emotional about the things we witness, right? Or sports, like we really get so physically, emotionally into it. And it's rooted in the response of our mirror neurons. We're literally designed to do that. So the question is, what information are you around? Who's controlling your brain? Okay, we've got to really identify this and pay attention to this because it's so important. So here's the emotional wellness and relationship checklist. Consciously get yourself around empowering information / environments. You need to do this consistently. This is what it's really about. This changes your set point. This changes the place that you operate from in your day-to-day life. If you're out there exposed and you're around constant negativity, you're around bad habits, negative behaviors, it's going to be incredibly difficult to not participate because your mirror neurons are witnessing this and simulating you doing it anyways. Okay, so powerful. So you want to create health-giving daily habits. And yes, you can create good habits. Like you don't only create bad habits, but you've got to consciously do this. Also, we need to let go of toxic, disempowering relationships. But you need to do a self-assessment first, because maybe you're the person that when you come around, everybody's like, oh, here they come. Maybe it's you. Chances are, if you're here with me right now, it's not you. But just be aware of this, okay? Because that type of behavior pattern of being around disempowering relationships, toxic people, negativity, constant gossip, it can really, really weigh you down and really make it difficult for you to maintain your own health mission. And that's what I want to know right now. I want you to share in the comment section below. Share with me what your mission and your vision is for your health and body. I want to know. If you could have anything with your health and fitness, what would it be? There are no rules, no limits. You can't fail at it. What do you really want? Be honest, because the key is, if you're ever going to have it, you need to claim it. You need to be open and honest about what it is. Okay? So go ahead and write that in the comment box. Okay? Write that in the comment box and share that with me. What is your mission and vision for your health and body? And while you're doing this, I'm going to tell you about the most important factor in becoming the greatest version of yourself, and that's full immersion. Getting yourself immersed in this type of information and strategies. One of my amazing members of my transformation program, the Fat Loss Code, is a guy named Brian Owens, and he's a national recording artist. He's amazing, amazing guy. In 6 weeks, and following the information that I just scratched the surface on teaching you today, he transformed his body. This was like 5 weeks in like 4 days, and he got these pictures to me, and I mean, it speaks for itself. He immersed himself in this information. He really took control of his body and of his mind and put this stuff into action for himself. And in doing so, he got into the best shape of his life. And you should see him now. I mean, he's amazing. This is Justin. Okay. Mid to late 40s, he decided he wanted to get in the best shape that he's ever been in. He's never seen his abs prior to him getting involved with the Fat Loss Code program and in his adult life. And his goal was to ride a bike from like Texas to Missouri in honor of his 2 sons that he lost. And he said that it wouldn't have been possible for him to do that. And he crushed it if it wasn't for what he learned in the Fat Loss Code program. So it wasn't just about him getting fit. That's a nice side effect, but it's the performance. It's what it means for you to be able to do the things that you truly want to do in your life. Here's Lizzie. She went for full immersion and really took action to get involved and to implement the things that she learned about in the Fat Loss Code. And again, it speaks for itself. You don't just lose weight, because if you go into a diet and you lose weight, if you're shaped like an apple, you just become a smaller apple, right? If you employ real fat loss strategies, you can literally change your body composition. Okay, you can go from an apple shape to more of like a Coke bottle shape, minus the Coke, right? That's how powerful this is. And now, guys, with having the right information to transform your body and your life, many people still fail because they're missing some critical components of this. And that's continuous education. Once you learn something, you don't just have it figured out. It takes time to really drive that in and truly make it a part of who you are. How do you map the right nutrition plan for yourself? What are the best exercises for you right now at the level you're at? And how do you put it all together and upgrade as you get better yourself? Because the thing is, you will plateau continuously because your body will adapt. How do you change things? Where do you get that information to do that? What are the latest findings in health and fitness that you need to stay updated on? And how does it relate to you? How do you get your questions answered as you're progressing? Where do you go? And at the bottom line, the real root of this is, how do you actually address your own personal, unique struggle points? Be it a disease, medications that you're on, illness, poor habitual mindset and self-sabotage, lack of structure, emotional eating, or whatever the case may be. There is a solution for these things, but it only comes with you getting aligned with what truly works. And that's what I'm here to do. Support. There is nothing more difficult in this world than undertaking a major task like transforming your body and your health on your own. You need support from like-minded people. You need to stay connected to the source of the information that's going to keep you informed and inspired. And what I've done for you is I've created a step-by-step process of what you're going to need. Okay, a step-by-step process. Personalized plan. I'll help you to create your own like catered to you, not Joe down the street, not Sally Lou from the other town. I don't think anybody's named Sally Lou anymore, but not something catered for somebody else. I can't stand these cookie cutter programs. You need to get it designed for you because you're unique. And how do you adjust? How do you adjust your exercise programs as you get better? What about continuing education? What about the support? What about getting your questions answered? Well, to kick things off, the first thing I'm going to give you, and that I want you to be a part of, is the 6-week Fat Loss Code Transformation Program. Just like what Brian did, just like what Lizzie did, just like what the amazing story of Justin and him actually, man, it's a hard story to talk about. Him riding his bike from Texas to Missouri through multiple states over the course of a few days in honor of his sons that he lost. They did the same thing that I'm going to share with you right now. Week 1, because this is broken down into weeks because it's a lot of information. It's a lot to embody. Week 1, phase 1 in the Fat Loss Code program. What we're going to do for you is we're going to set your metabolic thermostat on high. Okay, this is going to be your opportunity to protect and enhance the function of your body's #1 fat storing organ. Okay, what you're going to learn about. You're going to find out the hidden things that is affecting everybody that are constantly depressing your metabolism. Okay, this stuff is like, it's so mind-blowing that people don't know about this stuff. You're also going to discover how to instantly turn off your body's fat storing hormones. This is just phase 1, week 1. In week 2, you're going to learn how to burn fat easier by fixing the underlying problems. Now we're going to look at what's really going on underneath the surface that's caused the situation to where you're not burning maximum body fat. You're going to discover the simple and easy ways to improve your major fat burning organs, because there are several, and you're going to learn about all of them and how to improve them. You're going to prevent stress overload and protect your body from automatic fat storage, because stress is a huge component. You can eat your way fat, you can exercise your way fat, or you can stress your way fat. Okay. You're also going to learn in week 2 how to do a step-by-step fat flush. You're going to lose up to 15 pounds in just 2 weeks. Now, this isn't for everybody. This is only if you need to lose a substantial amount of weight. Okay. However, anybody can employ the strategy. It's just the weight loss might be a little bit less. As a matter of fact, some people don't need to lose that much weight. So I would help them to tweak the program so they don't lose that much weight. Phase 3, learn to eliminate fat and keep it off the smart way. What's the point in losing weight if you just gain it back again? It's just so incredibly frustrating. You're going to get simple tips on how to control your body's hunger and satiety hormones. You're going to find out exactly how to make your body burn fat for fuel, and no other program will tell you this full story. You're going to learn it, and you're going to be able to embody it. You're going to find out what's really going on in the minds of people who've gotten the greatest results and transformed their body. You're going to get to borrow the secrets for yourself. That's in week 3. Week 4, phase 4, stop dieting, start living. You're going to discover the unique factors about yourself that you absolutely must take into consideration when choosing what you eat. You're going to find out the universal principles that need to be present in all nutrition strategies, or they're going to fail long-term no matter what. I'm going to give you an easy template to help you to eat right for your unique metabolic type. You're going to take my clinical metabolic typing quiz, and you're going to get a baseline of a program that's going to help you. And then we're going to be able to tweak it for your unique individual needs right now. Okay? So you're going to be able to eat as much as you want and still lose fat. Phase 5, exercise secrets. Work smarter, not harder. Of course you're going to want to break a sweat. Of course you're going to want to work out, but you want to work smart, okay? Not just hard for no reason and not get the results, but work smart. You're going to find out how to use short burst training to get lean and tight, not puffed up and bulky. Okay, there's different strategies for this burst training. You're going to learn the most effective. You're going to learn how your body's different muscle fiber types. You're going to learn about these. Okay, it's not just I'm just going to go work out. Which muscle fibers do you need to focus on to burn maximum fat? You're also going to discover how to literally block your body from storing more fat using this specific type of exercise. Literally, when you learn how to do this exercise, you're going to block your body from being able to store fat for 24 plus hours. That's a huge green light to have some high carbohydrate foods right there, by the way. In phase 6, break through plateaus and keep body fat off long term. You're going to discover the pre-workout. These are the small things that give you that extra edge. So you don't hit any plateaus, you keep breaking through. Now we're going to talk about pre-workout fuel that's going to enable you to burn extra fat. No fancy supplement. I'm going to tell you the simple thing that you can do before you work out to help you to burn more fat. Easy tips that you can use to help you to lose that last 10 pounds or that last 1 to 2% body fat. And also you're going to find out the pre-workout mistake that will literally block your ability to burn maximum fat. This program has sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people have gotten in. Okay. But my mission, I told you guys, my mission is big, 10 million people. So I had to do something about this. This is what the price started at. Complete health assessment for me is $300, period. That's what people are investing to get me to do this for them. A personalized nutrition program designed by me is $400. A strength and conditioning program designed by me is $300. Monthly coaching with me is up to $1,997. And people pay this willingly, happily, because of the results that they get. And they'll tell you it's the best investment they've ever made. Group coaching and training with me. The last time I was paid to do a group coaching was $3,000. That's the minimum. Okay, that's a total value of $5,997. This is the real value of what you're going to be getting in this program. But there's no way in the world that I was going to keep this at this price and exclude so many people. Because even though it might be the thing that you need most, it's still a huge investment. So I took that out of the picture and I was like, okay, what if we do half of the price? I know the value of this program, but still that was really pretty steep that people would have to come out of their pocket to try and invest in this. And I didn't want to, again, leave people out in the cold. I believe that every single person should have access to the best health information possible. Took it down to its normal price now at $997. And this is far beyond the value of $997. However, I want you in. This is just scratching the surface. Our journey together today, our journey together is really just starting. And I want to see you win. I want to see you get into the best shape of your life. I want to see you supported. And so as a webinar special for you right now, this is going to be your only opportunity to do this. All right, because the price is going to go up to the place that it's supposed to be. Webinar only special of $39 a month. That is all. That's all you need to invest to get access to this amazing 6-week program. But it doesn't stop there. All right, we're going to keep pouring it on, because other bonuses by you being in here and you being here with me on this webinar, I'm going to give you access to the BURN formula. And that's an acronym, by the way. And this is something where even me, when I was taught by my professors and I was taught by my coaches, you can't burn fat in one place. You can't spot treat is what we would say. That's not really true. That's not actually true, because you can spot treat. If your problem area is your arms, if your problem area is your belly, there's a certain strategy you can use to burn fat from that location. I'm going to share that with you. And also, you're going to get access to all the video trainings. I'm taking you into the classroom. I'm taking you into the gym. And the 6-week program is that's just the beginning, because I'm adding new videos, new audios, new content all the time for the Fat Loss Code members. You're going to stay up to date on all the latest health and fitness information. I'm taking you into the gym with me, I'm taking you into the classroom with me, and you're going to get supported, and you're going to get that continuous education from here on out. This is going to be your source. You're going to get all new videos, updates, and programs created, and they're going to be yours totally free because you are part of the program. Okay? We've got free ebooks in there, recipe books. We're adding more and more stuff to the mix. And the best bonus of all, I'm going to be your nutritionist. You're going to have one of the foremost experts in the world there to answer your questions every single month. No question is too big or too small. If you're interested in getting off a statin, if you're interested in getting rid of insulin resistance, if you're dealing with a cancer situation, you want to know what to do there, how to buffer. Maybe you're going through chemotherapy and you need something to help your cells to regenerate faster. If you've crazy enough found yourself needing to get rid of that 1% body fat because you're trying to do a show or an event or whatever the case may be, you can ask me about it, and I'm going to give you a specific, distinct answer every single month. Again, no questions too big or too small. Even if it's about someone that you care about and you want to help them, I'm going to be there to answer your question. Sign up right now. Head over to thefatlostcode.com, thefatlostcode.com/UFL, and get in here with me and the other Fat Loss Code warriors, and let's help you get into the best shape of your life. So head over there right now and get signed up. In just a moment here, we're going to do a Q&A. So I'm going to actually answer you guys' questions. So if you got any questions for me, you can go ahead and put them in the chat box. And we're going to set a timer here and go ahead and do a Q&A. So, and also, the amazing Ann SS has put the link in the chat box. So you can click on that link and go right over and get registered, because we're going to get started immediately. I'm going to immediately send you week 1 of the program. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you access to the entire program. You don't have to go slow. If you don't want to go through 1 week at a time, you can go through rapidly, but I encourage you to take your time because it's a lot of information to take in. The principles and the stuff you got to do is so simple, though, really simple, and I really drill it down to make it easy for you. So I'm going to head over now and see if Ann has any questions that she sent over from you guys. And also, somebody posted, cacao. Wow, this is amazing, guys. And I see Robin, for example. I want to lead my family to a life full of health and wellness. Robin, you can achieve that. It's your destiny. But the thing is, you've got to take action when it presents itself, because the reality is, and a lot of people don't realize this, they want their families to be healthy. They want their mom to eat healthy, their sister. But the greatest example is you being it yourself. You being the fittest, happiest person is going to be the biggest reflection of what's possible, and encourage them to do something about it in their own life. Okay? And I know that you're here for a reason. I know that you're here for a reason. And chances are it's because you're ready for this. Who else? MJ, continuing to build muscle and lose fat, age well. Yes, sir. How would it feel? How would it feel if you actually did build more muscle and lose more fat? How would you feel about yourself? Miss Helmkamp, to create the absolute best version of myself so that I may also help others achieve theirs. This is what this program is for. This is not for people who are out there on the fringe, just wanting to, lose a couple of pounds. This is for leaders. This is for potential teachers. I'm literally teaching you in this program. When I take you in the classroom, it's not in some weird lecture way that's just boring as, you're like, how I do it. It's going to be engaging, but you're going to get the information. You're going to get the strategies. And what I'm teaching you is information that I teach trainers. Many people, somebody actually just got me this shirt a little while ago saying that I'm your trainer's trainer, right? So I'm teaching you that information that you're going to be learning from somebody. You're going to be paying somebody for. Why not learn it yourself? And so that you can teach other people. There are many people in the Fat Loss Code program who are health professionals, and they're sharing the information. And that's fine. This is not like selfish information that only I can teach. Matter of fact, you're going to be able to reach people that I might not ever meet. Why would I not want you to share what I'm teaching? So This is so important for you to be a part of this as well. Let's see. I've lost fat before, but didn't build muscle in my tummy area, kind of like Brian Pitchers. Yeah, man, that was me too, for sure, for sure. I feel the energy boost after I stop eating wheat and eating more fat. Good stuff, Alan. Alan, nice to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Let's see, energy to perform at my peak on my job and at home. I have 4 children under 7. What? Wow. Oh my goodness. You definitely need to be involved with this and to have my support, man. That's amazing. How would it feel? How would it feel if you had your energy that high and you performed it at your best every day? How would that feel? You know, so powerful. So let me go ahead and get into some of these questions, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for getting into the Fat Loss Code program with me. I'm really, really excited to have you to be a part of this growing community. And again, we've got hundreds of people who've already got the program, but we're about to explode. Like next week is going to be the first Q&A. So you right now, when you get in, you're going to be able to ask me any and everything that you've ever wanted to know about nutrition, fitness, mindset, whatever it might be for you in your life right now. And I'm going to answer the question specifically for you. And I promise that it's going to be something real and tangible and something that you're going to be able to apply. Okay, so let's get into these questions. Alan's asking about the HSL enzyme. Okay, so we talked about hormone-sensitive lipase is literally a fat-burning switch. Your body naturally secretes this when insulin levels drop. Okay, let me get a drink real quick, guys. So your body naturally secretes HSL when insulin levels drop. Now, in the program, I'm teaching you about the opposite end of the equation, and another enzyme called lipoprotein lipase. Lipoprotein lipase. It's literally a fat storing switch. Okay, so you've got to know what to do to avoid turning that bad boy on. You know, so the focus is really, again, the general thing, because we get more in depth in the program, but the general thing is keep your insulin levels in check. And it would be even smarter to keep your insulin levels in check, especially in the first part of the day. Don't start your day off with a huge insulin spike by eating carbohydrates. Excuse me, if fat loss is your goal. If fat loss isn't necessarily your goal, it's just wellness and health and feeling good, maybe you can have a little bit more carbs in the morning, you know, but I hope that answers your question. HSL, you know, we talked about that. Thanks so much for asking that, Alan. Okay, so this one is from, looks like Sunday 23. I've been eating clean, low carb for over 2 years. I've hit a wall. I have not lost any weight for over 6 months. Cardio only. Wow. Okay, so Anne actually asked a great question. And you're saying that you're doing cardio only. This is the problem. You're eating, it sounds like you're eating pretty interesting basic diet, you know, eating clean, low carb. But that doesn't mean that that's appropriate for you either. Especially if you're doing only cardio, you might need a little bit of carbohydrates in order to keep your sex hormones right, okay? Because you can actually depress your sex hormone function if you're not getting enough carbohydrates, okay? So that's why I don't like to get into labels about like eat a low carb diet or a high fat diet or whatever, because it really depends on you. And that's what I focus on in the program, is creating the right macronutrient ratio for you as a unique individual right now. And also, you've got to start lifting. That's going to be like, you're going to get into the best shape ever. If you're already eating clean like you've described, though I think you probably might need a little bit of carbohydrates mixed in there. When you start lifting, you're going to be a bad mamma jamma. All right? Let's see. The next question is, I heard mention on the Model Health Show of adding minerals back to water. This question is actually, for some reason, my screen is messed up. Let me refresh my screen. Let me get your answer here. Okay, it looks better. Okay, I heard on the Model Health Show of adding minerals back into your water using mineral salt, sea salt, and apple cider vinegar. Is there a recipe? Okay, that was, I believe, when I interviewed Amir, when he was talking about adding apple cider vinegar. I don't typically add ACV to my water because I want to enjoy my water. But yeah, it's really simple. Just a small pinch of sea salt. So just say it's a liter of water. Um, and then we add in maybe 1/10 of a teaspoon of sea salt, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and he actually uses baking soda. Okay, so he's really trying to go for like getting his body alkaline in the morning, which I'm not recommending that, but that's what you're asking about. And that would be about a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Okay, so I recommend, I call it the fat burning lemonade. And this would be 1 liter of water, a pinch of sea salt, like I described, 1/2 of a fresh squeezed lemon, and some MSM, methyl sulfonyl-methane. So that is a sulfur compound that can help to regenerate your tissues, your nails, your hair, your muscle, help you heal faster. And also really great for building ligaments, regenerating tissues like your ligaments in your knees, your spine, all that good stuff. So I hope that helps, man. And I do probably around a tablespoon of MSM. Okay, Robin is asking what amount of sodium is recommended per day? There is no recommended amount, Robin. It totally depends on you, your activity levels, the other electrolytes, because sodium is an electrolyte. So, and it's balanced by potassium. So you can actually have a little bit more salt and it won't be problematic if you're getting enough potassium in. What's the best potassium food? A lot of people are going to be like, bananas, bananas, but it's not bananas. All right, bananas can make you go bananas. You are what you eat, right? You want to eat avocados are actually higher in potassium, but it's a lower glycemic fruit, and it is a fruit. Okay, also a sea veggie called dulse, Dulse, which is great to add to salads and whatnot. That's probably the highest source of potassium of any food. Okay, so again, it's going to be adjusted to you. Jen is asking, what about grains like quinoa? Well, if it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Quinoa is a grain. So, and I know it's got all this great marketing. I'm even, it's not like, it's one of those things that it's in the gray area, but it's not good for you. People talking about all these health benefits. Not really. Compared to non-starchy veggies, the protein, the fatty foods I just talked about, the healthy fats, it pales in comparison to any nutrition. As a matter of fact, it contains some anti-nutrients, some phthalates, and also some saponins, which are soap-like sugar molecules that in some aspects can be healthy, but in other aspects it can be a gut irritant. So, but if you want to have some quinoa every now and then, it's not that big of a deal, but if you're serious about healing your gut, healing your assimilation, putting the best food in your body, it's kind of pointless, like the quinoa is just not a great food option. It's just one of those things that we just want to eat some grainy stuff, and it's nothing wrong with that in one light, but it's just not worth it in my opinion. Also, Robin is asking what cheeses have good amounts of fat. Velveeta, baby. Velveeta, liquid gold. That's totally a joke. I hope you know I'm joking. Don't eat that. Don't eat no Velveeta. Cheeses, again, you got to be careful with the dairy. It just depends on you and your body type. I would pull that out while you're doing the Fat Loss Code program over the next 6 weeks and see the results that your body gets as far as your fat loss and your waist reduction. Then you can add cheese back in and see if you're getting any reactions. Is it maybe breaking your skin out? Maybe is it causing you to be bloated and puffy or not digesting your food well? But the cheeses that have good amounts of fat, I mean, pretty much all of them that are full fat cheeses. Recommend getting raw milk cheeses if you're getting it, but that's not always accessible. So make sure that it's at least organic. So there you have it. Thank you, Robin, for the question. Okay, guys, clock is ticking here. We got 2 minutes. Make sure you head over right now to thefatlosscode.com/UFL and get registered right now. You will not see this anywhere else. Okay, $39 a month to be a part of the most powerful, transformative fat loss program on the planet. Okay, and it's going to be continuing education. And a year from now, I'm going to be providing you every single week, every month with new powerful content just for you because you're a part of this program. All right, it's going to be powerful stuff. All right, and you're going to get access to this, all kinds of goodies. So excited about this. So head over there and get registered right now. All right. Question from Jen. Also, I would like to walk on an empty stomach in the morning. Should I hydrate first, or can we hydrate and walk at the same time? I'm trying the 1 liter of water with lemon juice, cayenne, salt when I wake up. Awesome. So that's the fat burn lemonade too. I forgot about the cayenne. Um, Jen, I would say, yeah, you could absolutely hydrate first. So what I usually do is my morning ritual. I wake up, I drink my liter of water, I use the bathroom. Um, I do a little bit of like meditation or qigong, and then I go for a walk. Okay, so it's probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes after I drink the water that I actually go for the walk. And I really like my mornings, like I structure my mornings so that I have the time to do that. And then I really crush it the rest of the day because I'm, starting my day off taking care of myself. And the thing is, and I want you to do that. I want you to be a little bit selfish. Okay. I want you to be a little bit selfish, Jen, because everybody in your life, they deserve and they want the best of you. They don't want the shadow of you who's showing up because you're not taking care of yourself. Okay. So definitely get in the Fat Loss Code program. It's going to be amazing, and I'm going to be here for you to answer your questions as we go along and really cater things and help you to get the results that you want because you deserve it. You deserve this, and it's like pennies in the bucket to get involved. All right? Okay, let me get a drink. Okay, our time is up, but I'm going to answer a couple more questions, guys. And thank you for being here, and I really hope that you had an amazing time. I'd love to hear your experience. So you can still talk with me in the chat box, by the way. I'm just going to do two more quick questions here. Let's see. Lori is asking about, let's see, she says, hi, Sean. Will you cover nutrition recommendations for vegetarians? Also, program price is $39 a month and program is 6 weeks, so cost would be a month and a half. No, you're getting the 6 week program to start with. Then you're getting all the continuing education because it can't just stop after 6 weeks. Like if you do 6 weeks of something and it's just like, well, go have a nice life, chances are you're going to fail. I want to see you to be continuously successful, and the 6 weeks is just the start. That's getting you reset. That's the transformation initiation. And then after that, we're just going to add more and more stuff to the mix to help you to tweak your exercise programs because you're going to accelerate through the beginner, intermediate, and advanced programs. You're going to want to know how to do different things, different exercises because we don't want you to plateau. So this is going to be something that is going to be around as long as you're a part of the Fat Loss Code program. I'm going to continue to support you and to answer your questions every month and to give you free stuff, new videos, new audios that nobody else is getting. I'm doing this. I'm really focusing my time and energy on the Fat Loss Code warriors because I know that you guys are the ones that are going to be out changing the world and teaching other people, and I'm so excited and honored to be a part of that and to be a spark maker in that. So yeah, number one, so it's $39 a month. And as far as the vegetarians, I'm curious if you are a vegetarian, but I'm going to be adding a new protocol to the Fat Loss Code. Especially, I'll get it in there even faster, even though it's almost done, because you really, really have to know what you're doing in order to sustain healthy hormones and to eliminate excess body fat long term on a vegetarian diet and keep your energy levels high. You really got to know what you're doing. I'm talking about long term. Anybody can go vegan for like a year or maybe even up to 5 years. Excuse me, but I've consistently seen people run into some serious issues. And I know some of the strategies to work your way around it. It's just going to take some very targeted action. Okay, last question. Linda, any suggestions and nutrition recommendations for someone with prostate problems? Yes, so many. So many. The prostate test itself is very, very flawed. There are so many things that can elevate your numbers. Even just having sex, and you go and get your prostate numbers checked, it can be elevated. If you ride a bike, right, you got to be careful with that. Number one. Also, it would really help to know what the prostate problem is. which this was the last question, so we don't really have time to get into it. But I'm just gonna give you the heads up. Linda, you better be in this program, by the way. But just send me some more information, and you'll see it when you get inside the program. There's a section right there on the main dashboard saying Q&A with Sean. Ask me a question. Put your question there. Give me some more details about the situation, what the problem is, what you've tried, and I'll get you an answer and help this individual to alleviate these prostate problems. Okay, guys, so we're going to call it a wrap. We also just started a Facebook group for this, and here's some of the things people are saying. Gina said, up and at 'em, drink my water, did my exercises, had my breakfast, but before I did any of that, I took measurements and weighed. Survey said down 6 pounds and 3 inches. Unbelievable. I'm almost sure some of it was bloated weight, and nonetheless, numbers don't lie. This was in her first week. That's her first week. Flora said 5 inches off my waist. Yeah, boy. Flavor Flav voice. That's not my voice. Let's go. That's my motivation. This was, I believe it was 2 weeks after she got signed up. Debbie said, every day from Sunday to Sunday, weigh myself because I needed to see something for all the work. I've been studying and doing, and the time and study I've been doing. This week, total 8 pounds. Wow, she lost 8 pounds in the first week. This is before phase 2. Amazing, amazing. The Gemini, his name is Carlos. He said other people have done their check-in. I checked myself, down 6 pounds, 1 inch off my waist, and there you have it, guys. He did this in 1 week. Amazing, and it's just a testament to the type of people we have involved in this program, and I can't wait for you to get connected with them and to be supported by them and me in the Fat Loss Code program. So again, head over to thefatlosscode.com. Matter of fact, let me keep it up here for you. fatlosscode.com/UFL. And I'm going to hang out in the chat room for now for a few more minutes, but I want you to go get registered before you holler at me in the chat room. And thank you guys so much for being here. Big virtual hug. You guys are amazing, and you inspire me, and I can't wait to continue our relationship and really build this thing and help you to get into the best shape of your life and help you to help other people, So that's what it's really about. We can change this thing. We can change the health of our community, but it really starts with us taking care of ourselves in the best way possible and immersing ourselves in this empowering information. And again, I thank you so much for being a part of this with me. I can't wait to talk with you more and all the amazing stuff we're going to take part in the Fat Loss Code program. So go and get signed up right now, and I'll talk with you real soon.